All right, well, good Friday morning, everyone. First Alert Meteorologist Eric Burke alongside meteorologist Chelsea Aaron. Happy Friday. This is Weather Extra. We made it 1 hour closer to the weekend, and weekend forecast actually looks pretty good. One of the calmer weekends we've seen as of late. So very excited to share that. Obviously, we're tracking strong to severe storms through yesterday afternoon and evening. Chelsea was out in the 48 storm tracker, ran into some hail out there, a lot of hail reports and a lot of wind damage across the area. Trees down, people still without power, crews out working hard to restore that power. I actually lost power when I was getting ready for work this morning, around 2 this morning. Not the best start to the day, but if that's the worst thing that happens, we'll be okay. But yeah, the day today, no rainfall on the radar right now as we go outside. Things are quiet, but if you are heading out, I suggest maybe dressing a little warmer than you think you need to, just because it will feel a lot cooler. As we go through the rest of the morning into the afternoon, we'll start having more clouds pushing in, and we are still forecasting at least some scattered rainfall, maybe some thunder and lightning to deal with. We are not forecasting any form of strong to severe storms today. You might just hear some thunder, see a few flashes of lightning, as we do have a little bit of elevated instability, but not the best setup for storms today, and we're perfectly okay with that because some of you are on cleanup duty. But yeah, the radar is dry for now. We actually saw a lot of sunshine earlier this morning once that morning fog burned off. And here's a look at the Parkway. The Parkway camera from about 4:30 all the way through probably 6:15 or so. You couldn't even actually see the Parkway. At times it was even hard to see the headlights of the vehicles, but obviously things have improved significantly since then. So shaping up to be a nice day for now. The afternoon will look a lot different than what you see right now as we look down 565 at downtown Huntsville. Just to prove to you that the fog is in fact gone, there's your visibility, 9-10 mile visibility across the board, and temperatures started off mostly in the low to mid 40s, and we've come a long way. Good thanks some of that sunshine, but as the wind starts to pick up out of the northwest, we see more clouds coming in and we get some of that rain cooled air. You're pretty much looking at your high temperatures for the day. Some of you might briefly hit mid 60s, and then the wind really starts to pick up.
Yeah, and Eric, and once the winds start to pick up out of the north and west, this will make it feel even cooler at times. So again, make sure you have a layer of some sort as we head throughout the rest of the day, and keep the rain gear handy. Looks very deceptive right now. Picture perfect day. We're seeing some peaks of sunshine out there, and it feels pretty nice once you get outside. But we will be tracking areas of rainfall moving back in as we head later on this afternoon and through your evening commute. Like we mentioned, no forms of severe weather likely as we head throughout the rest of the day. You will hear some rumbles of thunder, some heavy downpours possible as well, but this rain will be moving out quite quickly as we head into your late evening hours and your weekend. For the first time in quite a long time, looking gorgeous. A lot of people want to know, what is the Trash Pandas forecast for tomorrow? Well, we're seeing plenty of sunshine through the first half of your weekend on Saturday, even on Sunday. Even though we're going to be dry, note temperatures will be cooler just like today. Afternoon highs, upper 50s, lower 60s, but at least we won't have to deal with the rain. Now another surge of showers and storms will come through, like we've been mentioning, through the afternoon. Some heavier pockets of rainfall possible, maybe even some occasional strikes of lightning here, but no more strong or severe storms as we head throughout the day. Just take it easy for your evening commute. Continue to watch out for any lingering leftover ponding on the roadways, some that may form with some of these heavier downpours, and also watch out for some debris as crews continue to clean up across the Tennessee Valley. Eric.
Yeah, Chelsea mentioning the Trash Pandas actually playing a double header today. 2 7-inning ball games out at Toyota Field, and they'll be dealing with some of these scattered showers and storms. The game yesterday was actually postponed. That's why they're playing 2 baseball games today. You don't want people out there at Toyota Field when we're under a severe thunderstorm watch, and Chelsea could vouch for this. She saw it firsthand how fast those storms really blew up yesterday afternoon and evening. And I know our Claudia Peppenhorst, you could join her weekend mornings. She'll be anchoring with Matthew King. But it was take your cat to the ball game yesterday, and that was the game that was postponed. So hopefully they reschedule that for all the cat lovers out there. But basically through about the evening commute, just tracking those scattered pockets of heavier rainfall. This is not widespread, so it might miss you entirely. And even yesterday at my house, we got very little rainfall, but we did see those very strong winds and even had some small hail. By 9 o'clock tonight, clouds continue to filter out with the clear skies, perfect conditions for radiational cooling, and that means we'll have a pretty chilly start to your weekend. Saturday morning temperatures will be starting off in the upper 30s to low 40s. So if you're going out for that morning walk or run or whatever your Saturday routine is, just taking the dogs out, it's going to be a bit on the cool side. Now, tomorrow, it might be a disappointment to some just as far as temperatures go. Even at noon, we're still just in the mid-50s. Wind won't be too bad out of the north, about 5 to 10 miles per hour, but at least we have plenty of sun. This is a good opportunity for us to dry out. High temperatures tomorrow. Some of you might just stay in the upper 50s. Another pretty chilly evening as we go into Sunday morning. Temperatures drop right back into the upper 30s to low 40s. We've got a sunny and warmer day coming for your Sunday with high temperatures eventually topping out in the upper 60s to low 70s. There's a certain golf tournament being played in Augusta, Georgia. A lot of my weekend is probably going to revolve around that. But just be on the lookout. Keep an eye on that 48 weather app, the radar tool. Make sure you have it set to current radar and not future radar. That's a question we get from a lot of people, just saying, hey, the storms aren't matching up with what's actually, what you're showing on TV and on some of our streams. Sometimes it's usually on the app because you're not in current radar, but rather showing what the model thinks the radar is. So weekend forecast in a nutshell, upper 30s, both Saturday and Sunday morning. So cool starts to both days of your weekend, but we are sunny, we are dry, and I think the person most excited about the weekend forecast, probably Chelsea, standing right next to me, because the past several weekends she's been dealing with severe weather and it's had an impact on your weekend as well. So none of that, it's just that time of year. Tree pollen, a lot of grass pollen too. The rainfall yesterday did help a little bit, and just the wind direction the next couple of days will keep that tree pollen just in the high category, not the extreme category, but next week is likely going to be pretty brutal for our allergy sufferers out there, myself included.
Yeah, Eric, and another note about the app, we have a known bug where you're trying to navigate to the radar and then it might take you back to the main home screen and not let you open up that radar in full view. To alleviate this, you go to the top left-hand corner of the screen where you see the 48 First Alert weather icon. You click on that, it kind of acts like a back button. Well, it will take you back to where you want to go and you can look at the radar and track the storms with us. We will be tracking some widely scattered showers and storms moving back in later on this afternoon and into the evening hours. Again, nothing really to worry about with these storms other than you want to have the rain gear handy, the umbrella. Rainfall amount as we head throughout the rest of the day into the evening going to be overall quite light. 1/10 of an inch, 1/4 of an inch in some places, but as Eric mentioned earlier, some places might be completely missed. You might not see even any rain at all. We will dry out quickly overnight. Cooler air filtering in with overnight lows in the upper 30s, lower 40s. Definitely a cool evening for any of your Friday night plans, so make sure you have a layer. If you're cold-natured like me, you might want to have a heavier layer. But overall, a great weekend in store. Saturday going to remain below average, even though we'll see plenty of sunshine. But with winds lighter out of the north, I still think it's going to be enjoyable to be outdoors for any of your outside plans. High temperatures, upper 50s, lower 60s. And then the warmer of the 2 weekend days going to be on Sunday, with temperatures returning right around average in the lower 70s. Now, the warming trend will continue through the early part of next week. If you can believe it, we're going to go from 60s today all the way back into the 80s next Monday. However, temperatures once again cooling through much of next week. That's because we'll be tracking another frontal boundary. Now, most of the activity with this frontal boundary should stay well to our north. Can't rule out a spot shower, especially late Monday and into Tuesday, but most locations staying completely rain-free, and the only most or more noticeable change that you'll see or feel is going to be the temperature change. Temperatures will cool back near seasonal normals in the upper 60s and lower 70s, and it looks quite quiet as we head throughout the rest of the week, with maybe some isolated rain chances returning Thursday and into next Friday.
Yeah, all in all, long-term trend, no threat of strong to severe storms, and we're definitely okay with that. Looking at some of the model data, It looks like we might have a little shift in the severe weather farther to our west. That usually happens later in April. Just some models indicating that. Also farther to our north, with that front coming in that Chelsea mentioned. But that's kind of it. That's a short and sweet weather extra here on your Friday. Weekend forecast looks good. No severe weather. Just a little bit cool both mornings. And then really looking forward to Sunday. That'll be a great day to sit outside. Temps in the 70s. Lots of sunshine. So join Chelsea and Peyton on TVL and also your news at noon with Gina Benitez. And hope everyone has a fun and safe weekend. Get outside and enjoy some beautiful April weather for once, lining up with our weekend. So really looking forward to that.
Yeah, happy Friday, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. Stay tuned for our shows at TVL and also noon. Chief Meteorologist Brad Travis will be in for the evening shows.
All right. Have a great weekend. Thanks for joining us.